It's actually been 5 years since I last saw Dennis and Marjorie, and I'm very interested to see whether their house has mellowed and what it's like to live in. Hello? Anybody there?
Hello.
Hello, Dennis. Can you let me in?
Kevin, come on in.
Hello there?
Yeah.
Dennis,
How
how are
lovely
you?
to see you again.
Long time
How
no
are
see.
you? Right?
Hello, Marjorie, how are
Kevin.
you?
I'm fine.
So nothing's changed. I mean, I look around the furniture here, that table is exactly the same. The metal table with the plastic tulip chairs, the pictures are all in exactly the same places when I was here last. So the building works for you?
Oh, yes.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm very, very pleased with what Rod
Love
gave
it.
you.
Yeah. We haven't altered anything, really. Hardly at all. Yeah,
we did change that picture over for the one that's upstairs, which is the same size.
Right, so you made one big change?
Yes.
You moved
and then
one
changed it
picture
back
and
again.
then you changed. And where do you spend most of your time in this place?
I spend most of my time there.
Well, I do a lot, but then I've got my study as well, and so I spend quite a bit of time there.
Well, we
Right.
can
And
yell
Marjorie
at
has,
each other, you see, because Dennis is in the study. He can yell through his hatch and see me sitting over there, and I shout back at
But
him.
you've also got your library upstairs, haven't you?
Yes,
Don't
I
you use
do.
that?
And I use that. Well, there's a lot of reference books up there.
Right.
And so I will go and hike them all down and then take them all back.
So
up
you always
again.
gravitate back to
Yes,
back
I
to the
always come back to
conservatory.
here.
So,
Yeah.
what's it like then in summer? Does it not get really hot in this conservatory?
No, you open all the doors and all the windows and let what wind there is blow through, and it's all right.
And that keeps you cool?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
What about in winter? Because again, you've got all the glass. So how do you keep the place warm?
Well, we have this wonderful heat pump that we were worried about at the time, and it's working beautifully.
Is it?
Keeping the underfloor heating at about 26 centigrade, and then we boost it overnight.
But you get 26 degrees C off the heat pump. That's remarkable because it's just a little pump pumping the water around, isn't it?
That's all it is.
Right.
Inside, the building continues to work really quite well. I love the bridge. It breaks up that big living space. It's a very ingenious way of getting to the guest wing. And it's fun. The magnificent oak has aged beautifully, and the cracks that are beginning to appear only add to its character. But that's the only real change I've noticed on the inside of this building. However, it's clear that Dennis and Marjorie have been spending a lot of time and energy outside. And outside, the pergola looks fantastic.
Thrilled with it.
Yeah,
Yes,
Smashing.
lovely.
vines for shade.
Marjorie
and
did it all.
yeah, it's all your own work.
Yeah.
And pretty roses, terribly pretty roses. Look, what about this? What about this gun emplacement at the end here? What's happened to that?
The
And there was this-
wall to which you took such objection is underneath here. Now, of course, it's all disappeared.
It's actually very pretty now. All this planting
Yes,
is
yes,
absolutely
yes.
delightful. Well, I have to say, Marjorie, this is a very
Fine.
prolific garden. It's full, bursting with stuff, isn't it?
Yes, it's lovely.
Yeah, it's worked
I'm
really
quite
well.
delighted with it.
You deliberately kind of contained the formal gardens or the planted garden really
On that side.
yeah, very
and
up,
have the terrace.
close up to the house.
Yes.
By the terrace.
Yes.
And then, Dennis, all this is
This is
just
just one.
mown orchard.
Well,
isn't
that's a grass sculpture in front there with
it? Is it?
2 spirals
Oh, this one here, yeah,
going
Yes.
into the sundial.
in the middle.
Yeah.
And that bit, on the other hand, that you just let.
Well, that's all
grow.
wildflower.
That's
Yeah,
wildflower
yeah,
meadow
yeah,
over there.
Yeah. Well, we've
And-
mowed paths through it so that
Right.
you can sort of walk all the way around. and-
Uh huh. One big difference from when I was here last is that there was a pig farm just there. That field was full of pigs.
Yes.
Well, unfortunately, they weren't profitable, so the farmer got rid of them.
But we like the pigs. Anyway, now you're approaching my lake.
Oh yeah. It's a very small lake, Dennis.
That's not a small lake.
I-
On the water wheel.
Is this your own invention, Dennis?
Yes.
It's all
Well,
solar powered. It's solar powered off these panels.
Yes. Yeah, it's just lined properly now, and
Oh, is
it's
it?
holding the water.
So what happened to
beautifully.
the island in the middle?
Well, that was the trouble. When they come to try and line it, if you've got a hump in the middle, It would have been all right with clay, but the clay didn't work. I want to put an artificial island in, but Margie's not very keen.
A floating one?
Yes.
I mean, now that you've done it, I mean, looking back, the house looks very hidden and very softened by all of that planting.
What was the wall has disappeared.
Completely gone. The house looks particularly good now from here.
Yeah.
I have to say, I'm almost prepared to eat my words.
Well, that's very gracious of you, Kevin.
In terms of realising all your initial ambitions, you've got there.
Oh, yes.
Yes, I think we
You've
have.
achieved what you
Yes,
set out to
yes,
achieve
yes,
5 years
yes,
ago, certainly.
yes.
But now we're in the second 5-year plan. We've done the first 5 years, you see.
And most of that is just to sit back and enjoy it.
Dennis and Marjorie have put everything into their lake, wildflower meadow and opulent garden, which are a real success. And with Dennis's own inventions and sculptures everywhere, this place certainly doesn't lack the personal touch. Tell me, how soon after moving in did it feel like home?
Very quickly, actually. We arrived and we were absolutely exhausted and decided we'd have a Chinese takeaway. We had it and flopped into bed after that. And, you know, it really did feel like home.
The first night?
Yeah, first day.
So is the one bit of the house, is the one feature, one element that stands out for you as something you particularly like?
Oh, well, as far as I'm concerned, it's that main room, the atrium with the bridge across and the conservatory. It's beautiful, I think.
But presumably with all this glass, I mean, you're also very close to the weather. I mean, you see all the changes in the weather and the seasons.
The funny thing is, though, that now, because there's so much glass in that house, we are used to living virtually in a greenhouse. And you go into other people's houses and you think how dark and pokey they are.
It is.
So how was the experience of building for you?
And it's great fun. It's something we've loved doing, planning things all the time. And I will confess that every now and again I get a slight urge to think about doing another one, but
You don't.
quickly sort of brush that on one side. And
That's why you go off and do these other little projects around the place.
Well, that's why I bought him a wood-turning lathe one Christmas and sent him out into the tool shed.
What else has the house given you?
Happiness. I don't know. I've got a lovely office. I've got a lovely tool shed. I've got all this land. I've got a wife. She's rather a good one too. And I don't need anything else.
But you plan to spend the rest of your days here, that's the point.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
If we possibly can.
Yeah. I'm wondering whether or not in planning a house you invest hope and ideas and expectation in that building. And that when you come to live in it, that hope and expectation is matched or not by reality.
I think you're right there. And I think our expectations have been matched.
No, we love it. It's fabulous.
We're absolutely delighted that we found this place and we're able to build this house and have the opportunity to do something with the landscaping. We have exactly what we want.
It's really interesting to come back here and see how all this planting and landscaping can be such an important element in architecture. I mean, all these shrubs and roses and vines can really soften and obscure bits of building that don't quite work. But if the outside of this place has been transformed, well, then the inside is curiously exactly as it was 5 years ago. At first I thought this was a bit bizarre, but then I thought, well, maybe Dennis and Marjorie's very careful and considered approach to the interior, which is absolutely right, has paid off. In the end, they got exactly what they wanted.